So in this video, we're going to just do a little bit of cleanup from the last two videos of topics that I didn't really think fit in nicely anywhere, but that I kind of just left for the end and would cover in this video. So the first one is that this blue triangle right here, this light blue triangle right here, is sometimes referred to as the consumer deadweight loss of monopoly. So that this is just the triangle that is above the original price line from perfect competition, which is 55 right here, and below demand. So it's just that little triangle of the deadweight loss. So the deadweight loss is this entire triangle, and the consumer half of it is just the top half, and then the producer half of it is the bottom half. So the deadweight loss to the producer of monopoly is this part down here. And I really don't like either of those two terms, but they're used quite a bit, so I figured that I needed to present them. Now, the next thing that I need to say is that this triangle here, this triangle that is below supply and above marginal revenue, and I don't quite know why this is true, but it always holds, is that the area of this triangle is the same as the dollar amount of surplus transferred from consumers to producers. So this is written out in algebra. This is the area of this triangle. Let's just call this the area X. The producer surplus in perfect competition plus X is equal to the producer surplus in monopoly. So this triangle represents the amount of gain that a monopoly gets, that goes to producers if the industry becomes a monopoly. So we're just going to go ahead and calculate that area, show you how to calculate it, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you that that is the gain in producer surplus, and we'll go from there. So the producer surplus in perfect competition is 1012.5, just this right over here. So we have 1012.5 plus, now the area of X is 55 minus 10, just the base, times the height, which is going to be 30, and then this right here we know is 45 because this is the equilibrium point from perfect competition. So we're just going to go ahead and steal that information from over here. So that is 45 units of output. So we have 45 minus 30, all divided by 2. And I'm saying that that is going to be equal to the producer surplus in monopoly, which is 1350. So adding these together, we get 55 minus 10 is 45, times 45 minus 30 is 15, over 2, plus 1012.5, plus that. So 45 times 15 is 675, divided by 2 is 337.5. So I'll go ahead and scroll down a little bit more. So we get 1012.5 plus 337.5 is equal to, and adding 1012.5 to that, we get 1350, which is exactly what we were expecting to get. So I can't really provide any intuition as to why that is, but just know that this triangle right here, this one in light red or in salmon, I guess, is the dollar amount of surplus transferred from consumers to producers. Then let's see, what else do I want to cover in here? I guess the last thing that I want to say is that we can calculate how much consumers spend in a perfectly competitive market and a monopolistic market. So how much consumers spend in a perfectly competitive market is just this area right here in salmon. You know what, I should stop using salmon. I've been using salmon for a while. So we'll go to this light blue. So it's just price times quantity. So it's 55 times 45. And so that is, just give me 1 second, that is $2,475. $2,475. And then we can also calculate how much they spend in Monopoly. And I'm just going to draw over a lot of stuff because this is the last thing that I'm going to do with this graph. And we know that, again, what consumers spend is just price times quantity. So price in the monopolistic setting is $70, and there's only 30 units of output. So this green rectangle is going to represent how much consumers spend in a monopolistic market. So 70 times 30 is 2,100. And so we can see that consumers spend $375 less dollars in a monopolistic market. So I'll just write in M. So the main punchlines of all of these videos is that a monopoly makes society worse off because of this dead weight loss right here. And then it's learning how to calculate all of these values both algebraically and graphically. And if you can do that, you should be good to go. I hope that it hasn't been too mathematical, too many numbers, but I really didn't see any other good way to do this besides giving you the pictures and doing the numbers side by side, because you have to be able to do both. There's no way around it, and you need to be able to do one way without the other. So if you're given just algebra, you need to be able to make the graph and go through it yourself. And if you're given graphs without any formulas, you need to be able to calculate the areas geometrically. So I hope that that hasn't been too much. I think probably the best way to learn all of this is to just go through these videos really slowly and kind of stop whenever you don't understand something and go back. And I hope that this has been helpful. If there's anything more that I can do, please let me know.